Good morning, Elmira Baptist Church. It is June 29th. It's a Thursday, and this is your weekly update for the church. We're almost to the end of June, and frankly, it just seems like time just goes quicker and quicker. But somebody pointed out to me that time does seem to go quicker the older you get. Think of it this way. When you were 10 years old, the next year of your life, 365 days, was 1/10 of all your experience before 10 years old. Now, I know when you're 1, 2, 3 years old, you don't remember a lot, but you get the idea. 10 years old, the next year, 1/10 of your life you've experienced so far. When you get to be 50, the next 365 days is 1/50th of all the years you've experienced so far. So, of course, it seems like it goes by quicker. I don't know if that's the explanation or not, but I do think that time just seems to go by more and more quickly for me. Our verse that we're going to look at in the devotional is from 2 Chronicles chapter 1. I read this a couple of weeks ago and it really stuck in my brain, so I wrote it down. 2 Chronicles chapter 1 verse 10. This is Solomon's request to the Lord. He says, "Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great?" Give me now wisdom and knowledge. That was Solomon's request. We'll look at that in a moment. And speaking of wisdom, here's the quote for the day. Knowledge and wisdom, far from being one, have oftentimes no connection. Knowledge dwells in heads replete with the thoughts of other men, wisdom in minds attentive to God's thoughts. Knowledge is proud that she has learned so much. Wisdom is humble that she knows no more. Vacation Bible School finished last week, but the work is not done. The summer is not past, the harvest is not yet ended, and there's still a chance for us to impact the lives of these little ones. What we've started already is to follow up with some of those that came, some of the children and the parents. This last Sunday night, we invited the parents back, and on Sunday night, we had 95 people here. Kids, parents, it was a great crowd. The kids did a wonderful job presenting some of the things that they learned at Vacation Bible School, and I want to thank all of you who made Vacation Bible School possible. This year particularly, I had very little to do with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday part of Vacation Bible School. It was you all who made it happen. So thank you for coming out and helping with that. Continue to pray for the children that we had here, that they would get connected to our church, if they're not already, and that they would grow in grace, which is one of the songs they say. Now, this coming Sunday morning, one word for you, freedom. It's coming up on the 4th of July holiday. It just seems appropriate to talk about freedom, about liberty. We celebrate Independence Day, the day when our nation declared itself independent from the British Empire. So we're going to talk about freedom. Read Romans chapter 8, verses 1 through 13. You can read the whole chapter. You'll be blessed by it. But Romans chapter 8, verse 1 through 13. And notice what we are set free from in verse 4. Set free from. That's our topic on Sunday morning. We're going to consider the connection between liberty and virtue, between freedom and self-discipline, and then how a Christian attains that virtue and how a Christian attains that self-discipline. Then don't forget we have our food and fellowship this Sunday. It's sort of an odd Sunday. This started 2 years ago when the 4th of July fell on Sunday, and we've just sort of kept that tradition of taking the June Food and Fellowship and the July Food and Fellowship and celebrating them on the first Sunday of July. So we'll do that this year as well. The theme is barbecue and favorite desserts and sides. But don't let the theme keep you from bringing lots of food. Bring enough for yourself, for your family, and then another family as well, because I anticipate we're going to have a lot of visitors this Sunday. We want to be able to offer them a meal as well as to feed ourselves. So bring lots of food this Sunday. And then after that food and fellowship time, we'll have our praise and testimony time. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again because it's true personally for me. Of all the times we gather to worship, praise and testimony time is most encouraging My heart is stirred every time I hear how God has answered your requests, how God has blessed you. So come prepared on Saturday. Don't come prepared on Saturday. Come prepared on Sunday to share your praise of God and your testimony to his goodness. We will attempt to live stream Sunday school, morning worship, and then that food. Well, we won't live stream food and fellowship. We will live stream the praise and testimony time, and then post those to sermon audio, the Bible studies and sermons. But remember, to worship God is a privilege. And what could be more important for us this Sunday? So join us. Sunday school starts at 9:45. Here's some other things on the upcoming schedule. Tomorrow, that is Friday, June 30th, the final day of June, the teens are going to meet at Arbor Oaks Park for a teen event. Jonathan's leading it. There'll be other adults there. If you're a parent of a teenager, you are welcome to come and to observe that, to watch that. Bring your teens. 6:20 in the evening. There will be a meal provided, 6:20. Again, Sunday, July 2nd is our food and fellowship. Bring lots of food. Saturday, July 8th. Saturday, July 8th. We want to have a men's work day, and they're going to work on painting the building again. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be out of town on that Saturday, but I do have it lined up for Jesse to lead that painting project, so please plan to come and help with that. Sunday, July 16th, after the evening worship, we're going to have a quarterly business meeting. I do have a brief update about PG&E, not as thorough as I would like, and then there'll be some other things to talk about the building as well. So let me encourage you, if you are a member of Elmira Baptist Church, to be here for that evening worship and then stay for the quarterly business meeting. Our summer camp week is July 17th to July 22nd. That's a Monday to a Saturday. And we need to do a couple of things. First of all, there's going to be a car wash on July 15th to raise money for camp. And you can also give. If you don't need your car wash or you want to give in addition to a car wash, just put that on your offering envelope, camp, and put that in the offering plate. We have some money held over from last year. We have money that the parents paid already, and now we're raising the rest of that money for camp week. So can you donate? Second, can you drive? We need some drivers to go up on Monday morning, late morning. You won't be back until late afternoon on Monday, July 17th. Then we need a group to go up on Saturday, July 22nd. Leave early morning. That time you'll be back early afternoon to pick up the children as well. You might even be back late morning. So those days are Monday, the 17th of July, and Saturday, the 22nd of July. Friday, July 21st, that Friday morning, the ladies' Bible study that meets on Friday morning is going to start back up again. They're taking a brief summer break. And then on Monday, July 24th, we're going to have a prayer meeting at my house. We call these our cottage prayer meetings, and this is in preparation for Matt Galvin to be here. Sunday, July 30th in the evening, West Coast Baptist College's Revival Trio is going to be with us. We're looking forward to them singing. I'm looking forward to Dr. Mark Rasmussen preaching to us, and we just need one host. I have someone who's spoken for the couple, someone who has spoken for the two young ladies. I need a host for the two men that remain. If you have an interest in hosting those two men on Sunday, July 30th to Monday morning, July 31st, please see me. And then on Sunday, August 27th, is our next food and fellowship after the one coming up. And that will be the first day, but not the last day, that Matt Galvin will be with us, and I'm looking forward to his preaching again. So we consider the prayer requests. Let me just lift up to you this Vacation Bible School and ask you to be praying for the results. It's not really a one-week program and then boom, we're done. It's a one-week program when we meet new children, we meet new families, and then reach out to them, because we not only want to see children saved during Vacation Bible School, which we saw again this year, we also want to add families to Elmira Baptist Church. Now let's go back to that verse in 2 Chronicles. I'm going to pick it up in 2 Chronicles 1, verse 8, and then read through verse 10. 2 Chronicles 1:8 says, Solomon said unto God, thou hast showed great favor unto David my father, and hast made me to reign in his stead. Now, O Lord God, let thy promise unto David my father be established, for thou hast made me king over a people like the dust of the earth in multitude. Give me now wisdom and knowledge, that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this thy people that is so great? Again, give me now wisdom and knowledge, Solomon says. You know the story, but just remember it with me again. Solomon has just become king. David has passed off the scene. He's left Solomon with a great kingdom, with a lot of people to rule. And as Solomon is offering offerings to God one day, at that night, as he sleeps, God comes to Solomon and he says, ask me for something. And Solomon says, here's my request, wisdom and knowledge. Now imagine if God gave you one wish. Just imagine that one night you're sleeping and it's just very clear that this dream is real, and God comes in and he says, Scott, that would be me. Scott, I'll give you one wish. What would it be? Have you ever thought about that? What would it be? Would I wish for the building to be done? Okay, God, if you can just get that building done, right? Would I wish for great health for me and for my family? God, if you just give us amazing health. Would I wish for my kids to all be here in California, in the Vacaville area, close to me? Would I wish for a new government? Would I wish for $1 million? What would I wish for? And here's Solomon. Solomon says, God, I'm asking you to give me wisdom and knowledge. And not just give me wisdom and knowledge so I look smart. No, give me wisdom and knowledge that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge this, thy people? He says, I've got to rule these people. I've got to make decisions for them. I've got to administer. I've got to point them in the right direction. God, I need wisdom and I need knowledge. And you know the rest of the story. God says, because you didn't ask for victory over your enemies, because you didn't ask for long life or for riches, I'm going to give you wisdom and I'm going to give you the other three as well. And God blessed Solomon's reign. Do you need wisdom? I know what James 1:5 tells us. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, who giveth to all men liberally, who giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. I can ask for wisdom when I need it. I can just ask anytime. And not only in the mornings, as I've set aside time to talk to God, do I ask for wisdom, but I find myself throughout my day, as things come up that I wasn't expecting, saying, God, I need wisdom to know how to respond to this person. God, I need wisdom to know how to manage this situation. God, I need wisdom. There's a crisis here and I want to get through it. Have you asked God for wisdom? There's a couple of reasons we don't ask. And the first reason we don't ask so often is because we don't recognize we need it. The verse says, if any of you lack wisdom. Well, if I don't think I lack wisdom, I'm not going to ask God. Second reason is sometimes I think we do recognize, well, I got a problem here, but we're too proud to ask God for help. Somehow we feel like we've got to solve it ourselves to be a good Christian. Like asking God all the time for stuff just reveals a weakness. It doesn't reveal weakness. We're already weak. It reveals a dependence. When I go to God and I say, God, I need grace. God, I need wisdom. God, I need help. Father in heaven, I'm not doing well. Would you give me strength? That just recognizes what's already true, and that is I am dependent upon God. But here's another reason we don't ask for wisdom, and I'm concerned for many Christians that we don't ask for wisdom because we're filled with the wisdom that comes from this earth. We're filled with man's wisdom. We've read a lot of books, or we've listened to a lot of podcasts. We've watched a lot of shows. We know what the self-help books say. We don't need wisdom because we've already got our minds full of man's wisdom. James chapter 3 warns us about this. James 3:15 says this, this wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. There's a type of earthly, sensual, and devilish wisdom that pushes out God's wisdom, and we don't even recognize that we need God's wisdom because our minds are already full of man's wisdom. Don't let that be you. If any of you lack wisdom, the Bible says, we can go to God and say, God, I need wisdom. And you know what's neat? Just as with Solomon, this isn't a promise that God's made, but I've seen in my own life, just as with Solomon, when I don't worry about the health and the long life and the riches and the victory over my enemies, and I focus instead on God's wisdom, then so often God gives me also victory and health and provision. You can join us this Sunday. We're going to meet at 9:45 for Sunday school, 11 o'clock for morning worship, food and fellowship, and then that praise and testimony time. Yes, we'll do our best to live stream it, but you can be here, so don't miss it.